I was actually taken back to a time when I myself was actually once in college. Now, we're going back a long, long time back. We're actually talking about 1996. It was a far smaller college. What you have here is like, wow. Okay, that was a smaller college. You see that in the back behind you. And those were also simpler times. Okay? Now, like I said, 1996, and our idea of going out was going bowling at a bowling alley. Bowling alleys had just come to India for the first time. The other thing is that we used to catch movies at, lo and behold, a single screen cinema. There was no such thing as multiplexes either. All right? And if you got lucky, we would actually go out to a disco or a nightclub with, a friend, like a girl who was dating some guy who was either a senior in college or a working guy. And that was, if you actually got lucky. Times, like I said, were simpler. There was no commercial internet. Like, wow, I see some of you gasping. Yes, no Instagram. And even something like YouTube wouldn't come for maybe another 9 or 10 years. And what is the most cutting edge part of technology and digital or mobile technology at that time? It was actually that phone, the Nokia 1610. मतलब इतना भारी था, phone तो दूर की बात उठा के किसी को मार देना, तो they remember you for that. And to receive a call at the time, okay, 16 रुपए per minute लगते थे call receive करने के लिए. So 16 rupees a minute to receive a call. So again, like I said, different times. But life was good, life was simple. All right? And one day I remember, I was getting ready to go out with my friends, and my father actually walks in, and he's looking a little worried, he's looking a little concerned. And he says, Gaurav, today is it okay if you don't go out? And I said, ठीक है, he was looking worried. I said, yeah, sure. And as we went on that walk, he told me, he said, Gaurav, we have been in a big financial crisis. I have been taken for everything that I have. We had a relative with whom we were looking to do some work, and he has taken us for everything. Sab kuch khatam ho chuka hai. Everything is finished. And when I look at him and I say, okay, what is it that we have left? And he actually reaches out into his pocket, he pulls out his wallet, and he says, boss, this is all that we have left. Everything else is gone. Now, I came from a family which was relatively well-to-do, traveled the world even as a child and more, and to hear that everything is gone, there's nothing left, it came as a big blow, like hits you like a ton of bricks. All right, and I'm thinking about it, and I ask him, I said, Dad, what is it that I should do? Should I go out there and get a job? And he looks at me and he says, Gaurav, there are some people who are meant to do jobs. There are some people who are meant to do jobs, and there are others, okay, who go out there and create jobs. You are the latter. Go figure it out. The rest of the walk, it happened in silence. Okay, it happened with a little bit of fear. My mother had just been diagnosed with a rare autoimmune disease, and that required time, that required attention, that required capital, and I just had so many thoughts that were going through my mind that I had no idea how this would actually work out. In the weeks that followed, I actually put together some money, 10,000 rupees drawn on a credit card, and I started my first company. My first company was in the space of making mouse pads and promotional premiums. And I decided to go out and reach out to corporate India, and I said, बहुत पैसे कमाएंगे, बड़ा अच्छा response मिलेगा, things will be great. And when I went to companies, okay, people would look at me and they would say, where's your office? Where are you based out of? And I would say, I work from home, and everyone would just come and say, you're not good enough, you're not big enough. Ek company to thi, they even took the mouse pads and they threw them on the floor and they said, you don't know what you're talking about. Come back when you actually have figured your stuff out. There was rejection, there was dejection. Things had just gone to the next level, and I was scared as hell. But if there's one thing that I knew, is that I wasn't going to give up. My school motto was never give in. It was our school motto. And I said, I will carry on despite what? People in my immediate family started questioning me. They're like, bhai chhod de. Quit doing what you're doing. Okay, get back to doing something else. This is not going to work. But quitting, my friends, was not an option. Little by little, I kept on, I kept moving forward, I kept reaching out to more people, kept innovating, and bit by bit, okay, we got a little better, a little bigger, and definitely a lot stronger. Fast forward 25 years. Okay, today I actually own one of the companies which is the most respected, innovative, and doing some amazing things around the world. And the same companies that actually threw us out at that time are today inviting us to become their preferred vendor partners and more. Truly, we have come a long, long way. Thank you. So today on this stage, if I was to tell you, okay, or if I was to ask you, can I give you that magic formula, okay, that can make you achieve all your goals, hit all your targets, and make everything else happen for you without much effort? Would you be interested? Yes or no? Yes, sir. Awesome. I love the yeses. To which I will also say, all right, जादूगर नहीं हूँ, entrepreneur or sales trainer हूँ. All right, so there's no magic formula, but I will give you a pathway. I will give you a template that will help you immensely. Some of you may have seen the movie RRR. Yeah, show of hands. Some of you have seen RRR. Yeah, awesome. A lot of hands going up. Like fun movie, good, great time pass. Today I will give you A. Okay, and this is my template, like I said, which will help you crush those goals and do those amazing, amazing things. So what does the A stand for? The A actually stands for attitude. And by attitude, I don't mean जो दिल्ली NCR वाला attitude है. जब किसी से जाके बात करो बोलते हैं, तू जानता नहीं मेरा बाप कौन है? Right? So that's the attitude. Like Delhi NCR, man, you got to be careful here. Everyone is a somebody. You don't want to mess with people in Delhi. I'm not talking about that attitude, but I'm talking about the can-do attitude. Okay, not the can't-do attitude. Nahi ho paega, dekhenge, sochenge. Not that kind of attitude, but the attitude that it can be done. Okay, when I went out and I got all that rejection, the one thing that kept me going was attitude. Okay, there was so many no's, there were so many rejections, there was so much pushback, but I knew that one thing that is going to keep me going is positive attitude. Think about it. Think about it today. Even people that you want to hang out with. Do you want to hang out with people who are always crying and complaining, okay, and just saying how bad things are? Or do you want to hang out with people who are smiling, beaming, happy people who say, boss, tension mat le, ho jayega, it will get done. Those are the kind of people we want to hang out with. When it comes to attitude, okay, the people with great attitude are super successful when it comes to their work, super successful when it comes to education, super successful when it comes to the friendships that they have, and even super successful when it comes to their own health. Boss, khush rahoge na, to heart disease and all these things will be out of the picture. You will just be someone who is pleasant to be around, and people will want to be around with you, and great things will happen. So if anytime things are not going your way, just like I said, focus on attitude. And just take a look at some things which some great people around the world in the past have said as well. I think it was Churchill who said, attitude is a little thing that makes a big difference. All right, it was Swindle who said, life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react. Think about that. Choti si choti cheez hoti and we blow it up and we make such a big deal out of it. It is all about attitude, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is the first A. And I request each and every one over here, irrespective of whatever happens, have a great attitude. Let's talk about the second A. Okay, first A was attitude. Let's talk about the second A, and the second A is action. Because action changes things, okay? Truly, that is the truth. And even, when we are in a stage where we think we should be going out there and doing things, but we start thinking, dekhte hain, abhi time theek nahi hai, right? First, let me go out there and perfect it. But the idea is that you have to just go out and do. Okay, that is what is actually critical. It is all about action. Action changes things. Take an example, perhaps even from the sport of cricket. And when I say action, action cannot be in fits and spurts. Matlab aake ab chokke chakke last 2 over mein maroge. Action has to be consistent. Action has to be massive. As a cricketer, you can't come out in the last 2 overs of the match and try and hit boundaries, 4s and 6s everywhere. You will get caught. You will be out on the boundary. Very possible. You have to instead come out there and build your innings. Okay, slowly, but go out there and build your innings and create that massive total. That is what consistent, massive action is about. My coach and mentor, Grant Cardone, says, action, you don't compare with those around you, you compare with everyone. And your actions and the levels that you have to take of those actions has to be more than anyone that you know. And people will come and tell you, burn out ho jaoge, you will burn out. Okay, you will not be able to sustain, you will not, be able to take this forward. But again, be an action taker, because action changes things. The third of the A's that I want to talk about, and this is the key one, this is the one that almost no one talks about, okay, and that is acceleration. Even when it comes to action, okay, some great things were said, and that was when Walt Disney said the way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing, okay? And of course, on the flip side, we had Mark Twain, who said the secret to getting ahead is just getting started. So that was on the action piece. I now come to the third one, which is acceleration. All right, and acceleration is the key one, because you know what happens when we as students, when we as entrepreneurs, when we as business owners, when we actually go ahead and start hitting our targets, हम क्या करते हैं? We take our foot off the pedal and we deaccelerate. This is the time when you should be accelerating. This is the time when the wind is behind your back. Okay, this is the time when you have momentum. People want to work with people who have things going for them. People want to work with people who have good things going for them. Instead, people go ahead and take their foot off the pedal, and when that happens, you lose momentum. If your results in education, if your results in work have ever gone like a roller coaster, kabhi up, kabhi down. So if you're going up and down like a roller coaster, know this, that what happened is that when you had those winds coming your way, you actually took your foot off the pedal. You said, my targets are hit, my goals are hit, my monthly target, my quarterly target, my annual target, all that is hit. Now we'll go ahead and do things in due course. No, you can't do that. Again, taking the example of cricket, a sport that we all love. If a cricketer comes in, gets off to a good start, hits a few runs, hits a few centuries, okay, and then actually goes ahead and makes his place on that team, the Indian team or wherever, and he or she decides to deaccelerate, then there is no way that they will ever be known as one of the legends. There is no way that they will ever be known as one of the greats. The legendary know that they have to take it to a notch higher than anyone has ever done it before. Acceleration is key, and nobody tells you this. Nobody in corporate India even goes ahead and applies this to their lives. So the 3 A's, attitude, action, acceleration. Today, as I stand before you, okay, India as a country is in a great place, right? If I look at the global scenario, they and some of the most developed economies in the world are looking at growths which are negative. We are looking at 8% growth. The chance of a recession in India today is zero. Zero, right? That's a Bloomberg study that says it, not me. And yet, if we take our foot off the pedal, if we don't go on and keep accelerating, ladies and gentlemen, I can tell you this, that we will not have the glory that we need to have. We will lose that particular glory piece as well. So very, very important to keep going out there and keep accelerating. India, like I said, is in a great place, and today is a great time to be young. If I could swap places with, and I think many in my generation would probably feel the same way as well, if we could actually go ahead and swap places and be where you are today, we would do it. It is a great time to be young. But also, like I said, it is our duty to have the right attitude. It is our duty to have the amount and the desired amounts of action. It is our duty to accelerate and put in the effort. That, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, is going to be key. As I make my way off this stage today, I think about the 4 people who had an integral role in this particular journey. My mom, who kept on saying that just keep going, okay? It is your attitude that's going to see you through, even when she wasn't in the best of health. My brother, who was a big supporter, unfortunately not with us anymore, but again, someone who pushed me and said, Gaurav, you are destined for great things. My wife, who is always there to pop my bubble, but yes, push me on and say, go out there and accelerate. And my dad, who today is still healthy, well, and crushing it. And I think he looks at me saying, proudly, GB, thank you for all that you are and the person that you are. Ladies and gentlemen, if I was to be 19 years today and exchange seats with some of you, I would go back and give some advice to me, myself as a 19-year-old, and that would be, go out there, never ever give in. build a great team, apply AAA, which is the attitude, the action, the acceleration. And what is going to happen is, you may not change the world, but you may leave it a little better than the place you actually found it when you first came here. Thank you all very much. It is a pleasure to be here.